30 socks.
40 socks.
50 socks.
100 socks.
150 socks.
500 socks.
Oh.
Ayo!
What's up, Sunday fam? Welcome back to another video about Lovers of the Red Sky, episode 5 and 6. Yeah. Looking good.
It looks awesome.
I personally related to both of these episodes as an artist. And we're both artists. That's the number one thing that jumped out to me in these two episodes, because Cheong Gi is participating in the painters contest. She's going up against world-renowned painters. And whenever she goes up there for the critique, the Grand Prince is always like, because he's got this thing at the back of his mind about the butterflies and like the counterfeit paintings. He's always like putting her down despite how good the paintings are. But then like the others chime in, like the head of the Painting Institute, all the other judges captivated by her brushstrokes and her skills and her interpretation of the theme. And I just loved this part of the show.
I think you make a very good point in terms of the struggles and the challenges she faces in this competition, because there are world-renowned artists that she's going up against, and she's sort of like a nobody, except for the prince's view that she does the counterfeit paintings and nothing can get past him, even though this is supposed to be a fair competition.
Yes.
But instead of that, he focuses on the things that doesn't really matter in terms of what's more important for an artist. And Cheong Gi happens to be able to flourish in the ways of the way she's interpreting the themes of the competition and what's being set forth in front of her in a very unique way. Of course, the first couple of times was kind of like the imitation artist or the imitation paintings that reminded him of the counterfeit paintings, which set her in kind of like a negative path. But overall, in the end, she kind of accomplishes her goal in terms of she finds her own style.
Yes.
You know, she ends up finding her own style, her interpretation, which isn't literally an interpretation of what everybody else did. In the very final round, everyone drew horses.
Yes.
She didn't draw horses. She drew what happens after horses gallop through a pathway. Petals are floating in the air and butterflies are attracted to it. And that is like a different perspective and a different point of view from an artist. If you are an artist, you appreciate that kind of approach. You appreciate that kind of perspective because it's unique and it's not like everybody else.
And the critiques were the best parts of these two episodes because they taught us a lot of great things about painting, at least in that time period, whether or not it's authentic or real, what have you. It's still kind of beautiful to know like that they were still back in the day worried about empty space or negative space on a composition. Whenever Cheong Gi's paintings were up for critique, I loved the mountain theme in particular because they pointed out specifically, why did you draw boulders in black? They're traditionally in white. And every time they critiqued her paintings and she came back with her unorthodox explanation, it always made me smile because like, yo, that's the number one thing about art is interpretation. And the way she explained how it was the first time that she gained her sight and she saw that mountain in all black and it had just rained. It was just so beautiful. That's the number one takeaway from these two episodes, is just how she was able to divinely paint and interpret the themes, and thus like by the end the prince was captivated by what she had painted. Like as you were saying, everybody painted horses, and then she came up with her butterflies, and all of the other judges were like, why didn't she draw a horse? This was the theme. And the prince, you know, flip side from what he had done in the beginning, is the only one that saw the hidden meaning behind it, and it was incredible.
And I think a lot of that has to go towards their realization that she is the divine painter that they've been looking for. And that's why they put forth this contest, is to find the divine painter. And the very first round, she drew peach blossoms that was rising up in the sky to meet the moon, and butterflies, like physically butterflies came to like land on the painting, which should have signaled something, you know?
Yeah, the butterflies going to the painting was absolutely incredible.
And of course, I want to know what you think in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about somebody. If you've ever been in a situation, somebody gives you a nice kiss and then all of a sudden says, forget about the kiss, I didn't mean to do it. That would piss you off, right? Like that's kind of what happened between Ram and Cheon Gi in that scenario, where, you know, of course, as soon as he kisses her and touches her, all hell breaks loose with him and Ma Wang, and like in his head, the Demon King is about to like transform again. There's something else a little bit deeper with Ram, his mission to avenge his parents, the death of his parents, is going forth. It's in play right now. And, you know, being involved with Cheong Gi, even though that he loves her, like we all know that they love each other and they've been long lost like souls or long lost soulmates, he doesn't want that to get in the way of his mission. But like, you know what? Screw the mission. You can find a way to do both.
This all started in the painting contest when Haram was giving his theme, and it resulted in Cheong Gi painting a painting that reminded him of their time with the peach blossoms or picking the peaches back 20 years ago. And then it all started. They both started to see in each other these figures from their past 20 years ago. And so that led them to this riverside scene where he does, like Flip said, steal a kiss and then goes, nope, never mind. Let's just go back and then forget it all happened, because he can't deviate from his plan.
His plan is kind of unfolding before him because the one man, the one guard is responsible for the death of his parents is right there in front of him. A sequence of events before he runs into him and stumbles onto him into the competition. During the competition is, you know, the both grand princes are like kind of like measuring each other. It's like, will you join me? No, I won't. I have my resolve, and like I should be ruling the empire or whatnot. That element right there with the political intrigue mixed into Haram's mission, mixed into Cheong Gi's divine magical painting skills, and you know the magic aspect with the demon and all of that stuff. Like, I have no idea how it's all gonna unfold or how it's all gonna integrate together. But man, I can only speculate that Cheong Gi is gonna be part of helping Haram be successful with his mission, and of course, like save the kingdom somehow.
This is one of those things that makes this show really good, is that even though we're getting further and further into the story, we're getting further and further out into understanding what's going to happen. Also, we finally have a name for our Darth guy that absorbed the divine paintings from episode 3 and 4. His name is, according to the subtitles, Goblin Hwacha. So I guess he's a goblin painter.
In the last video, I said that he might be a good guy, and I'm trying to go back to that because you guys left it in the comment section below that he was one of the two painters in the very beginning, in the very first episode, where Cheong Gi's father was painting the portrait, and then there was the assistant next to him who also like got like transfixed with Ma Wang's eyes or something like that. We, you know, thank you so much for the comment, and you know, like that totally got my mind like percolating all over the place. He has to have loyalty to Cheong Gi's father. There's some kind of relationship there, and now I'm kind of like flipping, right? Like I was like, I think he's a good guy. No, he can't be a good guy, but now I think he's a good guy.
Okay, well, I mean, with that added context, patch notes coming in, you know, updating the firmware, I think he's a good guy. I think he might come in to be like one of her mentors to maybe get her to avoid going mad like her father.
Perhaps.
And just acting like a mentor figure to show her how to paint divinely in the way that her father did, because her father's mad. He can't teach her anymore. So we'll see. But in any case, you know, everything comes to a head in the final frames of the episode where her father, you know, as ill as he is, strikes the Grand Prince Juyang with some ink.
Now, what did you think? Did you think that was gonna happen? Like the whole sequence before it happened, I was like, oh, he about to ruin everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say for sure. I think Juyang has some sort of air about him that he has to keep up in terms of appearance. So I think he will eventually forgive her. It will put a dent in her plans and Haram's plans in some way, shape, or form. I just can't say yet.
Well, in any case, guys, that is it for us. Leave your comments in the section below. Leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap that bell so you know when we post new videos. And once again, we'll see you next time.
Come on, 1, 2. Hey, stop, 잠 못 책임해.